Hello everyone, welcome back to Mentors Academy. Today is the 20th of September 2025 and as always, we'll cover the most important current affairs from the Hindu, the Indian Express, PIB and other reliable sources. We'll begin with yesterday's MCQs first and then dive into today's key articles, first headlines and then the articles in detail with complete explanations including YN news, background, key points and also UPSC relevance. Remember, these articles are relevant and important for all the competitive exams out there, right? So let's start with yesterday's MCQs first. The first question was, with reference to employee provident fund organization, consider the following. It is a statutory body under the Ministry of Labor and Employment. It provides both pension and insurance benefits apart from provident fund. It is applicable only to employees of government sector. Which of the above are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer to this question is option A, 1 and 2 only. Yes, it is a statutory body under the Ministry of Labor and Employment, right? The ministry is very important and it provides both pension and also insurance benefits under EPS and EDLI schemes. And the third statement is incorrect. It is not limited. It is not limited just to government sector employees but applies mainly to organized sector workers, be it government or private, right? So the second question was, consider the following statements regarding SDG 3, that is good health and well-being. It aims to end epidemics like TB, malaria and HIV by 2030. It includes universal access to sexual and reproductive health care. It is monitored by the World Bank exclusively. Which of the following are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer to this question is also option A, 1 and 2 only. So it aims to end the epidemics like TB, malaria and HIV by 2030. Yes, correct. And it includes, right, it does include universal access to sexual and reproductive health care. The third statement is incorrect. So here monitoring is done by multiple UN agencies such as WHO, but not exclusively World Bank. So yeah, now let's move on to today's key headlines. Let me read them out for you. State fiscal health crisis, CAG warning, climate health vision 2050, registered unregistered political parties, corporate bond index derivative SEBI move, climate change dynamic, consumer preferences, right? Consumer preferences reshaping tea ecosystem. SAP launches sovereign cloud in India to enable local data storage, boost AI development. Coast Guard ship Adamya commissioned at Paradip. So let's see these articles one by one. State fiscal health crisis, CAG warning. So the CAG recently warned that several Indian states, CAG is the Comptroller and Auditor General. So it warned that several Indian states are undergoing fiscal stress with rising debt and revenue deficits. So the CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General, under Article 148 of the Indian Constitution, it audits union and state financials. So states depend heavily on tax revenues and finance commission transfers, but committed expenditure like the salaries, pensions and interest payment, it eats into development funds. So the FRBM Act was designed, Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2003. It was designed to set debt discipline, but many states have breached its limits. So some states now have debt to GDP ratio above 40%, almost double the recommended 20%. Very important data. The recommended is 20% only, but many states, like some states, have above 40%, right? So short-term debt borrowings are increasing and subsidies like free power and welfare guarantees add to the strain. So the warning is clear here. Populism today may hurt fiscal sustainability tomorrow. It's a real concern here. For prelims, it's important to connect this to FRBM Act, Finance Commission and the CAG provisions. And for mains, fiscal federalism, debt sustainability, and balancing welfare with fiscal prudence. State finances. Right. So moving on to the next article, Climate Health Vision 2050. The government has released a new Climate Health Vision 2050 to address these health challenges arising from climate change. Right. So WHO here, World Health Organization, World Health Organization projects 250,000 additional global deaths annually between 2030 to 2050 due to climate-linked diseases. Important data to quote in your mains answers. So India with heat waves, uh, air pollution and vector-borne diseases, illnesses is among the most vulnerable. Our national action plan on climate change 2008 and the national health policy 2017 are the stepping stones, but more integration is needed right now. So the vision here emphasizes early warning systems emphasizes the early warning systems for climate sensitive diseases, building green and resilient health care infrastructure, and mainstreaming climate adaptation in health policy. Right? For prelims, it's important to know about the NAPCC, Paris Agreement, WHO data, and for mains, the climate health nexus, very important concept, SDG 3 health and SDG 13 climate and also disaster preparedness. Next article is about registered, unregistered political parties, that is RUPPs, right? So the election commission has flagged poor compliance among registered, unregistered political parties. So under the Representation of People Act 1951, parties can be registered, but only those meeting seat or vote share thresholds become recognized. Right. So this is the difference between registered and unregistered political parties. So India has nearly 2,800 registered unregistered political parties. Many of them are inactive, raising suspicion that some are being used as shell entities for more money laundering and also tax evasion. So the ECI, Election Commission of India, has demanded the ECI has demanded strict filing of audited accounts and has even proposed powers to deregister non-compliant parties. This push ties into wider calls for transparency in political funding. So for prelims, it's important to know about the RPA 1951 Act basics, election commission powers, and for mains, the electoral reforms, money power in politics, and governance gaps as well. The next article is about corporate bond index derivatives, SEBI move. So SEBI has approved trading in corporate bond index derivatives, CBIDs, to deepen India's bond markets. So what are corporate bonds exactly? So here, corporate bonds are a key way for companies to raise funds, but India's corporate bond market is shallow at just 16% of its GDP compared to over 100% in US. So derivatives allow investors to hedge risk and improve liquidity, right? So this is an important data. So here the corporate CBIDs, corporate bond index derivatives, will let the investors to manage risk in corporate bond portfolios, encourage foreign investor participation, and support India's bond market. Right? It complements bond market like development roadmap. So this is part of broader financial sector reform. So for prelims, it's important to know about the basics of bonds, about SEBI's role, and also derivative definition. For mains, financial sector reforms, capital markets, and resource mobilization. Very important. The next article is about climate change and dynamic consumer preferences reshaping tea ecosystem. Tea ecosystem. So India's tea ecosystem is facing stress from climate change and shifting global consumer preferences. So India is the world um, India is the world's second largest producer of tea, with Assam and Darjeeling enjoying GI tag protection. So the sector sustains over 1.2 million workers but faces stiff competition globally, especially with the stricter pesticide norms. Important data. Note this point somewhere. So yeah, so climate change here is, it is reducing quality and yields, while small tea growers struggle with low prices and mounting debt. So policy reforms are needed to promote sustainable practices, diversify into value added exports, and protect smallholder livelihoods. For prelims, it's important to connect to GI tags, Darjeeling, Assam, tea growing states, right? For mains, agricultural distress, climate impacts, and export competitiveness. The next article is about launches SAP launches sovereign cloud in India to enable local data storage, boost AI development. So India is exploring the idea of sovereign cloud, that is nationally controlled cloud infrastructure. Important term, sovereign cloud, and its definition. It's very important to note this. So sovereign cloud to secure sensitive national data. So SAP recently launched one such infrastructure in India. Let's see what is about something about cloud computing, right? So cloud computing allows data storage and processing over the internet. Currently, foreign companies dominate India's market with the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 mandating localization. Sovereign cloud ensures national control over critical data, right? So a sovereign cloud means here, a sovereign cloud here means exclusive state control, right? Data sovereignty, which is crucial for defense, finance, citizen databases, but the trade-off is cost. Building sovereign infrastructure is cost. So building sovereign infrastructure, it may limit innovation compared to global players. The prelims, it's important to know about the DPDP Act and the basics of cloud computing. And for mains, connect this to data sovereignty, cyber security, and also digital governance. The next article is about a Coast Guard ship Adamya commissioned at Paradip. The last article for today's news. So the Indian Coast Guard commissioned ICGS Adamya at Paradip port in Odisha. Right. So the Indian Coast Guard, it was founded in the year Indian Coast Guard was founded in the year 1978, is India's maritime law enforcement and search and rescue agency. So Paradip is a major eastern coast port, strategically important for the Bay of Bengal security. So Adamya, advanced offshore petrol vessel. Advanced offshore petrol vessel. So it was designed for surveillance, anti-smuggling, and also disaster relief. So it enhances coastal security and supports India's Sagar vision, that is security and growth for all in the region. Security and growth for all in the region. Right. For prelims, it's important to connect this to the ICC role, Indian Coast Guard role, and Paradip Port. For mains, coastal security, Sagar vision, Indo-Pacific strategy, also maritime infrastructure. Right. So now let's test your knowledge with the two prelims model MCQs. First question is about, with reference to CAG of India, consider. He is appointed by the President under Article 148. His reports are examined by the Public Accounts Committee. He holds office for 6 years until age 65, whichever earlier. Which of the following are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Second question is, which of the following are correctly matched? Fuga Valley Geothermal Energy, Paradip Eastern Coastal Port, RUPPs, recognized political parties. Options are 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Please drop your answers for these two questions in the comment section below. We'll be checking your responses and we'll see the correct answer to these questions in the next current affairs session. We also have two main questions for you to practice answer writing. First question is, discuss the rising fiscal stress among Indian states. How can fiscal discipline be balanced with welfare spending? 10 marker, 150 words question. Second question is, explain the concept of sovereign cloud. What are its benefits and challenges for India in the era of digital governance? Again a 10 marker, 150 words question. So that concludes today's session for 20th September 2025 from MentorssAcademy. So we covered the CAG's fiscal warning, climate health strategy, electoral reform gaps, financial market innovations, agriculture stress, digital sovereignty, and also maritime security, all directly mapped to your UPSC and all other competitive exams syllabus. So if you found this session useful and helpful, please don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe to MentorssAcademy for more detailed such analysis. Right. So always remember, every article we discuss here is not just news but a potential answer in your exam. Right. So the difference between reading the newspaper and preparing for these exams is the way you connect these issues with the syllabus directly. So stay consistent, keep revising, and believe in the process. So one discipline day at a time, you're building the knowledge base for your success. Right. So thank you so much again for turning in today. I'll see you tomorrow in the next session. And until then, keep practicing, stay consistent. Have a good day, you all.